Hey, this is René. Welcome back to another video on this channel. Today with another Expert Advisor test and review. So I asked in a YouTube question here what Expert Advisor I should have a look at next, and most people wanted to see the Wolf Scalper EA, so this is what I'm doing. So you can find the Wolf Scalper EA in the market, and this is the sales page for the program. It is sold at $500 and the developer says it's a scalping robot that uses a breakout strategy. And yeah, we will have a look at this, of course. What's nice is that he also provides a monitoring account, I think, where we can have a look at the historical performance already. We can see this performance was really good, which is not really surprising because if it was bad, the salesperson would probably not make it public. But this is also like a very good performance with 5,000% profit. So this is something which should already make us curious how this performance, why this performance is so good. Is it just like he increased the risk first for this test, or is this strategy actually like really good? So one thing that is in my sight like right away is that the first month where this account here that is shown is traded are February and March in 2022, and these were by far the strongest month, and they had a exponential big performance. So it might be the case that he traded with a bigger lot in the beginning to make the program look really good. And this is kind of typical for MT5 programs. They start with a really small initial deposit, and if they're able to boost it like really strong in the first month and then have a steady profit later on, you can get these like really big percentage wins, because these are always calculated on the initial deposit. And this is why a small initial deposit will generate these like really big numbers, because yeah, that's just how percentage calculation works. So let's have a look at the program now, and we can I read a little bit about this about the description here. He says that we should trade in Euro, US dollar, Japanese yen, and also he says down here that the default settings for this program that we get right away are already the optimized results for, here he says it, for Euro, US dollar, and US dollar, Japanese yen. And this is perfect for us because this way we do not have to optimize or test anything on our own. We can just download it and run it on the standard settings. So let's go to the MetaTrader 5. I already prepared this, and first of all we should get the program. So you can do this by going to a navigator. If you do not see it, click on View Navigator, right click Expert Advisors, and then click Buy from the Market. And then you should find programs here already. Yeah, I see it here already. I think we should somehow get a search window also, but right now I don't really see it. But yeah, that's no problem because we see the program here already. And the good thing is we do not have to buy, we can just download a demo, and this is absolutely enough for testing. So once we did this, you can see that now we have this market subfolder here with the Wolf Scalper EA in it. So what we can do next is we can click on View Strategy Tester, and this will open the strategy tester. If we click on Visualize, we can just select any program here. So we go to Market, Wolf Scalper. I select the recommended market, Euro, US dollar, and let's read again if he says what time frame we should use. Here it says we use the H1 time frame, so this is what we do. So H1, like this. And yeah, let's test maybe just for the current year first, so we can just have a look at the program itself and how it works. So let's have a quick look at the inputs. There are several inputs, but I think since he said they are optimized already, we do not have to change anything. We will just have a look at the inputs and see if we can already learn something about the strategy. So first of all, this is just the order comment for every order. This is the magic number, which is a concept of expert advisor programming, has no effect on the functionality. It just helps the different EAs to find their own trades. Then we have a maximum allowed spread. So yeah, it looks like if your spread is too big, this EA will probably not trade. And this kind of makes sense because it is a scalping program, and scalping programs usually have a problem if the spread is too big, right? So extreme amplitude depth, I don't really know what this parameter does. And yeah, so this seems to show us that we are working with buy stop and sell stop orders, and we can have a little puffer for them from some kind of extremum. So I think we will search for high and low prices probably and place a buy stop and sell stop order there. And then we can say that we want to open only at a new bar, and one cancels other order. So if we have multiple orders and we place a new one, the other ones seems to be cancelled. Then we have a some money management rules here. So we can somehow we can say if we want to trade fixed lots or a percentage of our account, I think. Then we have the stop loss and take profit settings. These are really easy. They are just in points. So 200 points, which is 20 pips. And then we have the trailing stops in points. So I think since the trailing stop in points is like really small, these are 5 points, which is 0.5 pips. I think this means that as when we get like in the profitable area for a trade, we will aggressively move the stop loss. This is what I think, but we will have a look at the test in a second. And then we have our order expiration time. This is pretty self-explaining. And we can limit the trading time, which is somehow not recommended in the default settings. And we have the option to close on Fridays, which is also turned off. So, okay, by looking at the inputs, we can learn a lot already about the system. And let's have a look at it now. So when we start this program, we already see like the first trade, and it is placed at a level, I don't know, doesn't really make sense to me yet, but yeah, let's see. Oh, and what we also see is the take profit and stop loss for these for this trade. They're both placed at a 200 points distance. So this is a fixed setting that we looked at, and yeah, so this is what we can see here. So there was the first trade, and it was closed like really fast, and this is because the stops were adjusted like really quick after the position opening. So pending was here. So once we moved like 10 points below the open price of the position, the stop loss was already modified and it was set like 5 points above the current price. Then this stop loss was hit here, and yeah, we made a small loss here because we paid the commission for this trade. So let's have a look at some more trades here. This was a profitable trade, so we are making some wins here. And yeah, this is pretty much a lot that we can see here already, right? So we seem to have these like really short trades a lot. I still don't really know where the sell stop and buy stop orders are placed. And also you should make sure that you have a reliable broker that doesn't have a lot of slippage, because if you always get slippage for the entry order execution and the exit order execution, this will blow your account, I think, pretty fast. Okay, so what we see here is my belief is that the buy stop and sell stop orders, as the inputs say, are placed at extremums. So he probably takes like the high of the last 10 bars and the low of the last 10 bars. I'm not really sure here. And then places the stop loss and the buy stop and sell stop at these levels. So you can see the buy stop is at the last high, if you want to say so, and the sell stop is at the last low. So if we speed this up a little bit more, we can maybe see that one of these levels is exchanged for a new order. This would be really interesting, and maybe we can learn something more about this strategy. Right now there's no new order, but I will just wait a little bit longer if we can see a new order here. Okay, so here the buy order was executed. We of course closed again with this trailing stop, and the sell stop order is still not modified. So I want to wait until this happens. Okay, there's a new buy stop order now. It's again at the high of the last bars. So this seems to be like the entry strategy. The algorithm somehow figures out the last high, probably just the high of the last X bars. And then we will place the order there. But I cannot be like 100% sure without seeing the source code. But what I think is interesting is that this sell stop order is still not touched. So I was assuming that this will at some point, this order will be cancelled at some point and we will place a new order, which is a little bit higher, but this didn't happen. And now we hit the sell stop order, and yeah, we just cashed in. And there's another sell stop order. Okay, so yeah, again, this sell stop order is of course at the low of the last bars. So there's a new buy order. I want to speed this up a little bit and check. Okay, at some point we can see the sell stop order is adjusted. So this order was then cancelled and placed again. Yeah, so it looks like that at some point orders are cancelled if the price moves away too far. So let's check this out for this sell order again maybe. Yeah, this order was also, the sell order was also cancelled at some point, I think, and placed a new one. So I don't really know like the algorithm for this. Maybe it just oh yeah, I think if we have a look at the inputs, it was just a period of time, right? Yeah, there's the order expiration time in hours. So the program places an order, buy stop or sell stop, and after 72 hours, the order will just be removed and we will place a new order. Yeah, probably at the low of the last maybe 72 hours, but I can't be like really sure about this. Okay, and so then, yeah, we always place the orders. We just wait for the execution, and once they're executed, we will use this like really aggressive trading stop management to trail the stop loss for the order. And this is what it does pretty much. So I could run this test now for the whole year, and this is what I think I will do. And then we know a lot already about the strategy. Oh, there's one more thing that I can look at, which is the volume. So you can see like the first positions were opened with, let's have a look at the deals, were opened with a volume of 2, which is 2 lots pretty much. And the last positions are open with a bigger lot size. And this is because right now we are in a profitable area. So the equity is increasing, which means that we can also increase the lot size. So I do not really know the algorithm for this, which was my I started with 10,000 for this backtest. I think we are using this deposit load in percent, which means I think that if we lose at the stop loss, the initial stop loss, we are losing 5% of our account. So with a starting lot size of 10,000, this would be 500 euro, I think, or dollar. So let's have a look at the trades again. Would be nice to see a trade that actually hit the stop loss, but we do not see it yet. So when we find one, we can check out if this was like 5% of our account. And I think at some point we should find this event. It's just like the probability for this hitting the initial stop is just not too big because we have this really aggressive trading stop management. Yeah, but still I will wait if we can see this. Oh, and what we can also see is, I mean, we have we pay some commissions here for every single trade, and of course we also might have a spread. So with this strategy, especially, I think it is really important that you are using a broker that has a really low spread and or low commission policy, because otherwise the costs will just take away all your profits. Yeah, but as far as I see this, at least in the tester, this works pretty fine so far. I was never a big fan of scalping strategies, but maybe I should have a look at this. Would be really interesting to see if this also performs in a live trading account, but this super aggressive stop loss management seems to work here, at least in the strategy tester. I mean, right now I'm not, I'm testing with this every tick modeling method, which is the ticks are generated by the MetaTrader. And we should probably test again with every tick based on real ticks. Let's see if we can test this and check if this also gives us the same results. Okay, so this is the test now with every tick based on real ticks. And here we already see that we lost a trade. And this trade, we should find it in the history here of this test. Yeah, you can see it here. We lost 420 euro on this trade because it hit the initial stop loss, I think. And yeah, 420. This is not really like 5% of the account, but it's really close, I think. Yeah, I think maybe the lot size was rounded a little bit, but I believe that this means that we are risking 5% of our account with every single trade, which is kind of a lot. But I mean, of course, the probability for the event where we really hit the initial stop loss, it is not that big because we have this like super aggressive trailing stop, which will yeah, which will pretty much take care of the trades mostly. So what we can see here is like one stop loss hit is really, it really has a big impact on the whole profitability of the program. And there we see this event one more time. So I'm not like quite sure how this every tick based on real tick works. If it's like really like the legitimate, the real tick calculation as it was for the price movement in the history, but it seems like this testing method is giving us like a lot worse results. But still, we see that most of the trades are profitable, so we are still making profits so far. And this is like really interesting. So again, I was never a huge fan of scalping strategies, but maybe I can have a look at this. Maybe we can write a scalping strategy like this on this channel together in the next programming tutorial. We can build something like this. I mean, even copying this exact program should not be like too complicated, but yeah, I don't know if we want to steal like the complete idea of this seller in the market. Gotta give him some credits for the program he wrote. Yeah, so far it looks quite nice. We should maybe do a longer test, but I mean, in the end, this is something everyone can do on his own. Again, you can just download it, just like I did, as a demo for free and make tests in different market and different time intervals. So as far as I see it, we have something which is really positive about this system. This is not a martingale system, and it is not a grid system. And this is something I really like about this program in the MT5 market, because very often you see that these systems work with martingale or grid components, but in this case we seem to have like a real system that has its own strategy and is not dependent on this martingale and grid functionality. I mean, you could still add it for more profit, but yeah. This is what I really like about it. And yeah, it's just a scalping strategy, really like fast position opening, fast position closing and stuff like this. But in the end, this seems to work, at least in the test. I cannot run this in a live account for several months. This would be just too much of an effort. But also in the end, what I want to stress one more time, for strategies like this, like these fast scalping strategies, it is super important that you have a good broker. And you should try to have the trading costs as low as possible. For example, I am trading with IC Markets. It's a broker where I always also have a partnership with. I think you will say it like this. So when I trade with this broker, or when you trade with this broker and use my link to open the account, you can send me an email with your account number, and I can forward it to the broker, and they will reduce your commissions also by from $7 per lot to $5.5 per lot. So it's also a big increase of the profitability of all your programs if you decrease like the trading commissions. So this is what I do to have the trading costs as low as possible, to have a broker that has cheap costs and then even decrease them more by this by partnering with them. So yeah, this is what I can say about this system. Seems quite legit to me, but still, of course, the stop loss for every single trade is kind of big, with 5% of your account, but this is typical for a scalping strategy. You have a far distance to the stop loss, and then you have a mechanism that tries to cash in like really small pieces of the movement. So in total, if you have a lot of trades, you will you are able to like still generate profits, because you have a lot more trades winning than losing. And this is what we should see here in the backtesting results. Yeah, you can see here like the hit rate is 72%. So most of the trades are won. And but still, of course, the average profit is by far smaller than the average loss, and also the largest profit is smaller than the largest loss. Yes. Okay, this is it about this system. Hope you liked it. I really enjoyed it because it's something different we see from the market, and I hope I was able to explain the inputs and the functionality of this program. So maybe you can go ahead and code something like this or something similar, and maybe I can also code something like this in the next programming tutorial on this channel. So if you do not miss out, subscribe and like, and just watch the next videos. Until then, have a great time and good trades. Bye bye.